So our final lesson on the foundation of Rome, all about the second secession. Here's the 5 questions from the previous lesson about the rape of Virginia. You know what to do. If you know the answers, look in the previous lesson. So, the second secession. Various names: Valerius, Horatius, 2 senators, 2 heroes. Aventine Hill, placed in Rome. You know who they are: the Decemvirate, the 10 Tarquins, Virginia, Lucius, Icolus, her boyfriend, consuls, tribunes, Lucius, Virginius. Okay, so Virginius rouses the legions. Virginius, last thing we did, he killed his daughter. He murdered her to save her honour. Seems interesting, doesn't it? Then he goes back to the army. Big long speech in Livy. You know, he's talking to them. He's got blood all over his hands. He says, "Look, I've done this, but it could have happened to you. These tyrants could do the same thing to your wives and daughters. You ought to join me in fighting against this tyranny." And they do. So they give up fighting, and the legions, the Roman army, go to Rome, and they take up position on the Aventine Hill in the south of Rome. The second secession has started. They take out there. It's a strike. So the Decemvirate are panicking. So they ask Valerius and Horatius to go and talk to the people on the hill, because they know they'll trust them. And Valerius and Horatius refuse. They say, "Oh, we will only go and speak to the men in the second secession on the Aventine Hill on the proviso that the Decemvirate give up power, bring back the tribunes and consuls," which, of course, the Decemvirate refused to do. By this point, they are panicking. What will happen to them if they give up power? Because they've been tyrants. So, upon hearing that that Valerius and Horatius have been ignored, the secession gets worse. More and more people go onto the hill, join secession. The soldiers bring their wives and families. Rome is said to have been a ghost town. And the demands of the people on the secessionists grows. Not only do they want the return of the consuls and the tribunes, they also want the Tarquins indicted, brought to trial for their crimes. Now the Decemvirate are in a bit of a pickle. What are they going to do? Now, Valerius and Horatius, their response to this is, "Look, we agree, we will help the plebeians. We will be your shield. It is just that we will be a shield to protect you, legal protection. We will not be a sword to punish your enemies. So we will bring back the consuls, bring back the tribunes, bring back the rule of the Senate. We will not punish the Tarquins." And the plebeians on the Aventine Hill agree, and the secession's over. The 10 Tarquins lose power. Crassus himself actually is prosecuted but dies. The other Tarquins either exile the city or are killed. But it's a relatively peaceful ending to the protest. So the tribunes, obviously Virginius and Icolus are elected tribune. Horatius and Valerio are elected consuls, and they bring in a set of reforms, new laws. They bring back legally everything that was before, consuls, tribunes. They also bring back and restate the inviolability of the tribunes. They can't be touched, they can't be harmed, neither can anybody who works for them. And it brings a degree of peace back to Rome. But it's not, by all means, it's not settled. Yeah. They then bring in new laws called the 12 Tables. They overturn many of the bad laws the 10 Tarquins brought in and bring back the good ones, add some more ones, over time get rid of the laws saying patricians and plebeians can't marry, and generally improve the legal system in Rome. But things are still not entirely settled because the plebeians don't have equal power. Cornelius, he's a tribune, and what he wants, what he campaigns for, is for plebeians to be have the possibility of being elected as a consul. At the time, this is thought to be an outrageous demand and is not acceded to. As time goes on, that does eventually happen, but in his time, a new role is created, the military tribune. If you remember, the consuls control the army. The consuls are sort of generals. They control the army. They command an army. But the military tribunes are brought in, so plebs who can command soldiers. Now, right, look at this. The details of the conflict of the orders, the secession, the rapes, all those names I've given you, etc., they're probably not accurate. And Livy and Dionysius have included them in their story, but they're not accurate. So where do they come from, and why are we studying them? Well, they come in fragments. Livy even admits that his sources aren't very good for this. What's actually probably happening is that they're really writing about events that are happening during Livy's lifetime, or a bit earlier, when the Gracchus brothers, who were tribunes, were trying to bring in agrarian reforms to help the plebs. So it's more like an echo. Now, why are we studying them? The Romans did believe this stuff. They needed a way to explain how their system became their system, how they got rid of kings, how they had the Senate, how they had the consuls, how come the plebeians had power. They needed a story, because by 440 BC, they liked their system. By the time Livy was writing, this system, the government, was said to be very good. There's the magistrates, like the consuls and the tribunes, they're elected. Yeah? But the Senate controlled the money and passed the laws. And the assemblies and the tribunes could veto things. So you have what's called checks and balances. No one's got too much power. This is such an important idea. Like I said to you before, the people who started the USA, the founding fathers, were big fans of ancient Rome, and they based their system they have today on the Roman system. The president is like the consuls. Yeah? You've got the Congress, which is like the Senate, which is why it's called the Senate, in fact. And you've got the laws, you've got the Supreme Court. And each can stop the other doing whatever they want. They don't elect emperors or kings in America. That's why we study all this.